Okay, Shabbat Shalom everybody, and you're welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. We thank the Lord God for bringing us into this wonderful Shabbat Zachor, which means the Shabbat of remembrance. So we thank Him, we bless Him for the life that He has given us. Very soon we're going to be having our Purim, and Purim is coming, so I hope everybody is getting ready to, to dance and to bless the name of the Lord. Tetzaveh meaning to command. All right, and I subtitle it, the two ways and the new generations. There are two ways to serve God. Two ways. Let's look at those two ways. Or, two Jews, three opinions. Maybe there will be more than 2 ways or 3 ways or 4 ways. But I would want to base my today's discussion on 2 ways and the new generations. Well, we have the new generations now who are coming, who are speedily following after the generation of their parents. So it is 2 ways and the new generations. With technology improving and medicine advancing, healthcare for all generations, including the very young and the aging, positively increased as well. Over the past 50 years, average life expectancy at birth has increased globally by almost 20 years. From 47 years in the 50s, from 1950 to 1955, to 65 years in the year 2002. So that's increased a lot, right? This represents a global average increase in life expectancy of 4 months per year across this time span. To see 3 generations today is somewhat very common, and we are now witnessing more and more 4-generation families. There are hosts of challenges which must be faced regarding caring for or attending to the needs of the aging parents. We feel guilty because we cannot help enough, primarily because we don't have the time, resources, or physical capacity to do the job. At the same time, we struggle to allocate adequate time for our parents. We are also bombarded with the privilege and honor of raising our own children while dealing with the burden of the societal challenges. This trial is common to most people in our Hebrew community, right? Because, as I said, as the life expectancy grow bigger, it's not hard for to see 3rd generation or even though 4th generation family, right? Oh, my great grandfather, my great grandfather, oh, they're still there, they're still living. So, and as for the young family that is growing up, I understand many people, because of the societal norm, understand in my country where I came from, we don't take our parents and put in the homes, right? We live with our parents. Everybody, all the generation, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, everybody live like a compound family. We all assist and help one another as much as we can. So I see my grandfather every day. My grandfather will see me. He teach me wisdom, because the idea, the understanding is this: that okay, when you, for example, I understand the North America understanding, the North America way of life is all business. Everything is all about money, right? You say, I don't have the time because I need to work, I need to do this and that. I understand that too. I'm in the system. I see everything that is going on in the system, right? You bring your parent in a home, right? So if you take your parent in a home and you just go there, some 1 week, some good children, they go every day, right? And some maybe once in a month or once in 2 weeks, they go and see their parents. The issue is this: that model of raising family is very, very bad from the Torah point of view. It's completely evil. Why? Because you are denying the children that put their parents in those homes, they are denying those grandparents to impart wisdom and knowledge on the children. Because they don't see them, no? They don't see them. So, like now, like when I was growing up, I told you everything I know in my life is given to me from my grandfather. Let's say, for example, my grandfather was living in a home. I can learn nothing. Zero. right? Because I can't be able to be school and be seeing him every day. But my grandfather tell me, okay, this plant is for this. This plant is for this. This plant, he taught me all those knowledge that he has accumulated because my father passed away, right? So he was teaching me all those things. You know that time is of an essence because his own son is no longer there. He's dead, right? So now his grandson, he has to now impart all the things he had because these are children. So how can they? So I need to do as much as I can to do what for these children so that they can understand what how to survive in life. So that is the idea of the Torah. So when we're the grandparents, we give to the children. You know, remember, children, they don't listen to their parents. Eh? No, everybody, we all did that when we were young. But we respect our grandparents because they do what? They give us goody. You know, they give us all those small, the candy. When grandpa says, Mama, no, because grandpa said this, grandma, we obey them. So that is the idea. See, it goes like that. So that is what I'm trying to say this morning. I am not sure I have a perfect solution, but I do have a suggestion. Beginning with last week, Parashat Tetzaveh to the end of Shemot, we read and learned about the Mishkan and all that is contained inside the Mishkan. The Mishkan is the house where the Holy One, blessed be He, can reside in this world. But it also stands as a model of every Hebrew home as well. Our home is a place to raise our children, educate them, and create harmony within all generations of the family. It is interesting to note that in the printed Kumashim, there are titles. There are little signs of interest. For example, there is a vertical line between the second and the third word of Tetzaveh. Apparently, it is there to separate something. I would suggest the first word, which means you, when God was talking to Moshe, which typically and traditionally refers to Moshe, can be expanded upon to reflect every head of the house. The line delineates a separation between the generations of the house of Israel. This message is reinforced in the following word of Hazar. In this week's Parashat Tetzaveh, the Torah states that you, which means God was talking to Moshe, must command the Israelites to bring you very clear illuminating oil made from hand-crushed olive to keep the lamp constantly burning. You see, this is among all these things that I just said, the Mishkan, right, is a kind of, I'm trying to say, the Mishkan is kind of an example of how we can harmoniously raise our home. If you look at everything that was said in the Mishkan, we can see that all those things example in our home too. Because in the Mishkan, everything is what? Holistically and harmoniously. Everything just flows. Because remember, God told Moshe that you shall design it the way what? You've been shown on the mountain. You've been shown in the heavens. In the heavens, everything flows harmoniously. Everything is operational. It's nice. It moves. Everything knows where they belong. Everything is in their place. There is no zigzag. No. Everything moves harmoniously. So that is the same idea that God is teaching us in our own, that we can inculcate in our own family. I'm trying to say, okay, the Torah is the Torah. Okay, the Torah is 3,000 years old, 4,000 years old. We are not living in that time now, right? But how can we gain from that 4,000 years old those knowledge of our forefathers, the wisdom of our foremothers? How can we learn and inculcate in our life? Because life never changes. See, the same thing. It's just advancement or changes in here and there. But primarily, it's the same thing. We are all Adams. It's the genetic code of Adam, nothing different. So this is the point I'm trying to tell us, that if we have it, there is nothing too late. You say, oh, you know, I'm old now. No. You can still implement those designs of the Mishkan. If you want, it is your choice, right? It is your choice. It is my choice to say, okay, I want to live. For example, I'm just giving an example. I want to live with my father-in-law, for example, with my mother-in-law, my own father, my own mama, or my grandfather, or my grandmother. I mean, I'm giving an example because I know the benefit I can get from their wisdom. When things go tough and hard, I can say, Dad, this is, I know. I mean, if, for example, if my dad is still alive, right? Dad, this is the situation. When you are in this position or at this age, when you have it, how do you solve it? They give you ideas. Oh, okay. It might not be the same, but you can learn and now be able to now shaping it to your own now the situation. Now that is what the Torah is trying to tell us. So the Torah said, told Moshe, you tell them, take a oil, the one that is made with hand, that is hand crossed. I sent the question. Abba quickly replied, say in the Humash, oh no, I didn't see hand crossed. I said, okay, I understand. It is just the other. It is the, if you understand the Hebrew word that to cross, cross in here, which I'm going to explain downstairs more. Meaning that it must not be made with any other thing that can cause impurity. Because if it's no, okay, I won't. If I say that, I'm giving answer to the question. Okay, so now Rabbi Alexander Levitzon explained that the difference between the oil used for the candle and oil used for the offering is the same. In the is the same difference in the two approaches of serving God. So this is what I'm trying to say. Rabbi Alexander, when he was explaining the idea of the oils, so he's saying that there is two ways to serve God using the example of the oil. There is one oil that is used for what? For the menorah, right? And there is another oil that is used to do what? To mix the flour. Remember, so you shall mix the flour with oil and make the pancake, the bread. And so there are two different oils. But these two oils serve the same purpose. One, the oil for the menorah must be pure. It cannot have impurity. Because if you have impurity, the Kohen Gadol will kaput. Because it can be inhaling all those nonsense. God doesn't want that. So God wants the idea, what God is saying, that I want my son, I want my servant, I want the Kohen Gadol to live long, not to die prematurely because of all the hazard, that is inhaling. But the other oil again is also good to mix for what? With the flour to make sacrifice unto me. So this idea of these two oils, the other one is pure but not as pure as the first one, as the one for the menorah. The second one has some few impurity because it is grounded with stone. So in the stone, small, that is why in Africa, I was telling my wife, among our people, we have we have a lot of kidney stone. Big trouble, and you see, majority we have a lot of appendix problem, because because our pepper, our tomato, our everything we don't use. You guys use what is it, grinder, blender, something like that. We don't use that. We use stone. Everything is stone. So when the stone cracks stone, there is still some minute stone that is still inside those inside the sauce. So you eat them and they accumulate in your kidney. You don't see that, so you don't know that. So that is the issue, right? So the same thing here. When you grind those olive oil, there are some of those impurity, and God said, "This one I don't want it to harm my what? My servant who is serving me in the holies of holies." Here, okay, you can still use this oil for this purpose. So these two ways of serving God is what the Holy One is talking, and the Rabbi is giving us example here, Rabbi Alexander Livingston. So he said, some serve God because they are commanded and thereby do it, while others serve God as a deer, a deer, the animal deer, right? Like a deer again, or long for the oblige. Right? So remember that David said, I yearn like the deer for God. Right? So some serve God because they are commanded. They are like robots. Okay? This is the program. Right? They don't even know why. They don't know because it is a robot. They just do it. While some, they do it like the deer, meaning they do it out of joy, out of their soul, and they are not commanded. It's not about the command because they know what God has done for them. Right? They just do it out of joy. But some, they do it out of religious practice. So, which one are we? Two ways. New generations. Which one are you? Which one is me? Right? Am I serving God because, oh, you know what? My grandfather taught me this. So I need to, I need to be afraid, every shaking, because this is what my grandfather said. Or am I serving God because I know what God did in my life? Or am I serving God out of joy, out of happiness, because He is my creator, because He is my father, because He is my king? Which one do I choose? Which one do you choose? Like a robot? Or like as you are commanded? Or heart of the soul? Heart of your heart? You see? As just like the word, the Parashat Tetzaveh, right? How or give heart of your soul, not being commanded by So this is what the rabbi, which I really like his understanding, is explain about this kind of two oil, right? In the sense of the deer, a person serves God through an inner desire to get close to God. The innermost voice within tell him to do the mitzvah. It's not, you are not commanded. It is just the joy of doing the inner voice, which is your soul, your real you, your essence. It's telling you that, God is your creator, that God is your designer, that you have a higher energy, a higher force, a higher power above you, that you are not everything, right? That ego, that I is no longer there because you recognize a higher authority, right? On the other hand, the person who does the mitzvah or the commandment strictly because he is commanded to do so is like a servant who follows the command of his master without knowing why. There is a song, I'm sorry to say so, there is a song, I'm a soldier, yeah, but there is a song one African man sang. He said, zombie, that soldiers are like zombie. But they tell them the command, hey, yes sir! Now take your gun, oh yes sir! Fire! Boo, 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 boo. They don't even think, why should I fire? Why am I firing? Who am I firing? You call this is my enemy. Maybe within the enemy, I have a friend there. Why should I kill my friend? Because one political man rise up one day and say, go fight and kill this thing because I don't like them. Or because they don't listen to me. They call us zombie. It's a song. It's a song, right? So the man is, I understand what the man is trying to say. The man is trying to say that the soldiers have to be able to have analytical sense. Why am I going to war? Why should I go to war? Because war should always be what? Be the last resort. After we've tried to settle everything amicably, and the opposite and the enemy said, no, the guy refused. Then the last resort should be war. But before that, there should be discussion, diplomacy. In the world. Things, how can we resolve it? We have differences. Everybody understands that. But how can we resolve our differences amicably without taking life, without destroying life, without shedding blood? That is what the singer, the musician was saying. So the same thing here. So there are those people that serve God because they are commanded. They just, okay, I do that because my grandfather taught me that way, my dad taught me that way, my great-great-grandfather taught me that way, that is the way my rabbi told me to do it. Okay. But are you doing it out of joy? Or you are doing it out of compulsion? Are you doing it out of that God is your creator, that you love Him, out of love, right? So both methods of serving God are observed, and both methods are necessary. Yes. So there are so people that serve God, like, okay, good. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying two ways. Remember, two ways in serving God. Two ways. You can decide which way do you want, right? You can decide you want to serve Him with joy, with happiness, with willingly, that you give yourself. Just like David said, Remember, Samuel said to Shaul, today the kingdom is taken from you, it's torn, and God has given it to your what? To your brother. Who is what? Who is better than you. To your brother. It's not that they're not of the same papa and the same mama, but because God sees them as a family, because they are all descendants of Jacob. God sees them as one. It's not that the father of Shaul is, and the mother of Shaul is the father of David. No, they are not even from the same tribe. Shaul is a Benjamin. Why David is Yehudim? He's from Judah. So they are from two different tribes. But God still regards them as one because their father is one. Right? So this is the idea. Right? That, okay, we as a child of God, which one do we belong? Which side? The two sides is good. Don't get me wrong. But for me as a person, I would prefer that we serve Him willingly, out of love. Right? Not that I'm a soldier or I'm a zombie, like because by the strict command. No. But when you serve God out of love, out of your will, it looks more easier. The burden is not too hard. But when you serve God by this is by command, you say, it's just that because of this person or because of that person. No, but because you want to do it. Not putting word. I mean, saying it's because of my mama tell me to do so, or my papa tell me to do so. No, because I want to do so. Understand? Taking an olive oil and crushing it. Taking an olive and crushing it to take the oil for lighting of the menorah was strictly a command. The first word of the Parashat and the name of the Parashat Tetzaveh is the command. The command represents the first drop of oil to ooze out of the crushing process. This resulted from the obligation of the mikvah itself. The second drop of oil of the mincha offering was not from the crushing. The korban mincha was brought to show gratitude and give thanks for all the goodness the Holy One Blessed He bestow upon us. This sacrifice and offering comes from within our essence, within our soul, from a deep desire to get close to Him and cling to our Creator, to our God. As it states in the beginning of the Vayikra, it was the nefesh, it was the soul, and the person who would offer it, not because it was a command. The word nefesh, which means the soul, is only mentioned by the Mehar Korban. Mehar Korban is the flour hook offering. Okay? The first command was to say that the Tetzaveh meaning what? Command, right? Command the children of Israel to take for me an olive oil. So the first one is a command to serve God for the menorah, the pure one. But the second oil is not a command. The second one is the guy now went to do what? To go further. To say, you know what, I want to extract more for this. So when I extract this one, I'll bring it again with all my heart to God. Because I want to cling to I want to serve Him with all my heart, with all my soul. I want to do even better for my God. That is the idea, that we are trying to discuss this morning. Right? That the korban mincha, which is the flour offering, is a further step, right, from the original command. Each and every person serves God within his or her own capacity. Some needing a direct command, others willing to do it on their own without the command, because they just love God. They just love, they want to go get closer to their Creator. A similar distinction is made between a Messianic and a contemporary Mosaic. It's different. Mosaic is from the word Musar, okay, which means moral which means moral conduct, something like that, or an instruction or a discipline, an order. They give you an order. Okay, you go follow the order. That's from the word Musar. Okay? The strict not Messianic, Musarnic, who follow the law in a more strict and narrow fashion, are doing so because they are commanded like that. They follow the command. While the Messianic, on the other hand, represent the inner joy in performing the commandment as a mechanism to get closer to the Holy One. Blessed be He. So that is my own kind of interpretation. There are this group of people, right? They follow God strictly based, right, on the first drop, the command. While there is the second group of people who say, oh, I'm going to go extra step. Put more of the oil and bring it as a korban mincha to the Holy One, right? People say, the Torah says, without blood there is no forgiveness of sin. Is that true? That is a lie. That is not true. God can forgive you your sin without blood. God doesn't need your blood. God can forgive you your sin if you have a flower. Does flower have blood? No. But what is common among all these things is one thing. It's life. The plant is a life. The plant has no blood. That's what God is talking about. If you have the money to buy a cow, God says, okay, get money to buy a ram. You don't have the money to buy a ram, God says, okay, I can go down more. Go get the goat. If you don't have the money for a goat, God says, don't worry. I didn't ask you to go and steal. Go buy a dove. They say, God, I don't have money for a dove. Don't worry. You have flour in your house, bring the flour. I will forgive you your sin. God is not asking you to go and break the bank, to go and steal to serve Him. But you always have something. And what God is saying, you have something. So this idea is this. Even though this is the only thing I have, for example, I only have my life. God, I give it to you to serve you. That is it. That's what God is talking about. Don't look at the others. Look yourself. Stop watching others. Stop going the way the others. You are not them. You can't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself. Right? Try to understand the inner understanding of what the Torah is teaching us, my people, this morning concerning these two ways of serving God, or these two ways of thinking. These two parts of philosophy needs to be implemented in every single Israelite, in every single Hebrew person, in every single one of us. Sometimes using one method when necessary, sometimes applying the other when necessary. With regard to the new generations, we need to assign different methods. We educate them to the basic tenets and the rules of the Torah. When it comes to the educated children, the parent needs to display an inner spiritual desire to get ever closer to God. Show those children how to get close to God. And when you show them, they get close to God. Right? Parents from all backgrounds needs to teach by example and display the fire that burns in them to get close to the Holy One, blessed be He. If you don't display that inner fire, what does this prophet say? Prophet Ezekiel said, and the fire burns in my bone. What fire was burning in his bone? The fire of the Holy One, blessed be He. The fire of the Torah, the fire of the Word is burning in his bone. I wish, oh God Almighty, that these your people can understand what you taught me. They can understand how this fire is. They can understand how precious the gift that you are giving them, the Torah. They don't understand. How they can understand this? If they can understand it, we won't be in this situation that we are. But because the people does not understand, or they refuse to understand. And it can be any of that. Because there are some people, you tell them this is white. They tell you, bro, it is right, white. They tell you, no, it is black. Because that is what they want. Yeshua even talks about that. You can't tell them otherwise, because that is what they want. To them, that gives them peace. To them, they don't want to do what they don't want to improve. They don't want to make amendment in their life. So if you okay, no, I still like that, I don't want to change. Okay, good luck. It's your choice. So we need these two ways to serve God. Sometimes when it is strict with the command, this is what the commandment said, we follow it. God said, I am not a man that what? That depends. Not a son of man that change, that is wobbling. You know, they say God is a man. Okay, good luck to them. Those ones that say that God is a man, good luck. But my Torah said, God is not a man. He doesn't have flesh and bone. It's an energy. It's a power. I don't know. No. God forgives. It's different from wobbling. Because the God of love is eternal. Love is uncomparable. We cannot understand it. So that is why He forgives us our sin. It's not that He's changing. No. He's forgiving us because He loves us as His children. For those who are willing to come. The ritualistic component obviously must be done, but to educate our children, it must be from within, and the desire that we want to do the midfoot, not that we must do the midfoot. Understand that? The desire must be from your inner self, from our spirit, that we want with joy, with happiness, with love. We want to do the midfoot, not that I must do the midfoot. So, but when your children see that it is inside from the heart of my mama, from the heart of my papa, from the love of God, of my mama, of my papa, that my parents are doing this. The parents, they don't listen to you, eh? And we all know that our children, they don't listen to what we tell them. The word goes here, comes out here. But they see what we do, and they follow what we do. And that's why I'm always telling parents, think twice. Because your children do whatever you do unconsciously. They follow your path. People say, I don't follow my parents. No. Because that is what you see all your life. It is synced in your subconsciousness. And you just begin to do it, you don't even know. So our children do what they see us doing. So when our parents, when our children, see that we're doing it out of love, out of, that we want to go more to serve our God, to get closer more and more and more to our God, to cling to our God. I'm telling you, that seed is sown already. It's there. They might be stubborn. I'm telling you, the seed is there. And when the rain begins to rain upon the seed, when the rain upon the seed, what happens to the seed? The seed germinates. The seed will surely germinate. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. Don't say, oh, I don't know what is going to happen to these children. The seed is there. It might be dormant. But when the rain begins to fall, the seed will germinate and it will grow. Our hope and prayer are to educate from both sides and bring the families together, showing and displaying a love of the Torah and fulfilling the mitzvot, because we are commanded to do so and because we want to do so. That is the idea. Please, my people, let us get together as a family around the Torah. Let us make a zayad around the Torah. The Torah is the central point. The Torah is the central our vision, where our eyes are focused. We focus our eyes on the Torah, nothing else. The Torah is life to those who take hold of it. It's life unto us. God loves us, that He gave us that fruit that we thought we missed in the garden of Eden. No. God returned the fruit back and said, this is the fruit of life. Eat and you shall live eternal life. Yeshua said, I am the what? The bread of life. If you eat of me, you shall live eternally. It's not stupid. I am the water of life. If you drink of me, you will live eternally. So this is the idea, the thought. So that fruit is not gone. The fruit is here. It is just, are we willing to eat it? Or are we willing to remain in our dungeon of sin? So it's each individual choice. It's individual desire. What do you want? So my people, let us please serve God with love, with happiness, because we are commanded to do so. Let's do it. And because we want to even do so, even more with happiness and joy. Parashat Tetzaveh, the two ways and the new generation. Shabbat Shalom.